Scott, or the Scott Man, and we're here to do a drive video today. We are heading north on I-75, and we are continuing the I-75 series of videos, which I haven't done since last year. I think the last one I did was the southern part of the Upper Peninsula, where it went from Highway 2, just north of the Mackinac Bridge, up to one of the state highways that's about halfway between St. Ignace and Sault Ste. Marie. But it's been a while since I filmed the segment before this one sequentially in terms of freeway placement, the stretch coming up to the south of Grayling. But in this video, we're going to be heading north between the exit for M-72, which we just went over M-72 now, here in Grayling. We're going all the way up to M-32 and Gaylord. And although I probably will, I'm thinking about refilming some of the I-75 videos down in Metro Detroit, just because it doesn't have the best quality, because it was back in the early days of the driving videos where I had a different camera, not the GoPro. But other than that, once I film this segment in this video, or with this video, I will have filmed all of I-75 in the Lower Peninsula, which that will leave one more segment, that being the northernmost segment in the state of Michigan. In order for me to film that video, I'd have to go all the way up to Sault Ste. Marie, which is not something I'm planning to do on this trip. But yeah, in other news, this is the first trip I've done since the trip I did to Dallas, which was about 6 months ago. So I'm going on a week-long road trip. I'm heading to North and South Dakota. And yeah, it feels a little interesting doing an out-of-state road trip, and I'm going through northern Michigan. How I'm getting to, I'm going to North Dakota first and then to South Dakota. But I'm spending the first night in Duluth, up in northern Minnesota. There would be a little bit more scenic and less traffic congestion going this way through the Upper Peninsula over to Duluth, and then cross over to northern Minnesota over to Fargo, go that way instead of going through Chicago and Minneapolis, where there's going to be a lot more traffic. Although today is Sunday, so it may not be too bad. But it's like if you had the choice to go through northern Michigan, which is very scenic, or to go through congested traffic in Chicago, I think you can easily pick between the two, which one you would prefer to do. But yeah, I left early this morning, so traffic's very light. But again, today is Sunday, so typically people usually aren't going to the north. A lot of them are usually coming back down to go back to like Metro Detroit or Lansing or even Grand Rapids. And yeah, right here, this is the exit for Hartwick Pines State Park. I remember going to that park a few years ago. Should consider going back there again at some point. Hartwick Pines is quite a beautiful state park here in Michigan. But yeah, it's still hard to believe that I'm back doing the longer road trips, or longer trips again, after going on a 6-month hiatus with just doing stuff around the state of Michigan, or for the most part just locally. Just because of the overall virus outbreak, yeah, it was not a good idea for quite a while to really go anywhere. Just like if you were asking me if I was planning a road trip in May, I'd be like, are you nuts? part of the United States are a little bit more under control again. Because I feel like when it comes to the virus outbreak, it started out in like the northern part of the country, especially Michigan for one, and more so in the Northeast. I think New York, New Jersey, etc. But yeah, the early part of the summer, like especially in June, that's when it really shifted from the northern part of the country to more of the southern part of the country. Think like Texas, Florida, California, Mississippi, Alabama, Oklahoma, a lot of those areas. But yeah, things are starting to improve in those areas. I think from what I've seen is like the people being hospitalized for the viruses or because of the viruses much lower than it was a few weeks ago. But it's definitely a good thing. But yeah, it's like when it comes to traveling while the overall pandemic's going on, it's like, yeah, you just got to take your precautions. Like, yeah, just keep your distance from people. If you're inside public places or if you're in a bunch of crowds, yeah, definitely put on a face mask. And of course, carry around some hand sanitizer. But yeah, I'm glad to see that there's a lot of hand sanitizer available again. Because I went to buy some more hand sanitizer, I think at Kroger just a few nights ago, and I had to pick between different brands. Which, like 4 or even 5 months ago, you pretty much just you were lucky to even find one on the shelves. Pretty much the same case with toilet paper. It's like I still don't get why like people were stocking up on toilet paper like it was the apocalypse or something. I don't know. It's like when people are in a panic, it's like people do crazy things. When I started the drive this morning, it was cloudy, off and on rain showers. Well, heck, when I woke up this morning, there was quite a bit of thunder and lightning. But as I've gotten further north, and I'd say between Bay City and West Branch, that's when things started to really clear up. It went from being cloudy, overcast, and off and on rain showers to plentiful sunshine. And heck, it's even cooled down a little bit. Because yeah, right now my car thermometer, keep in mind it's only 9:15 right now, so it's still early, but it's only 62 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about like 17 degrees Celsius. So I think when I started the drive this morning, it was 68 degrees Fahrenheit or 20 degrees Celsius. But yeah, cold front's going through Michigan right now. And as of right now, for the weather forecast for this road trip, it's looking really good. There's gonna be some hotter days where it's like 80s, maybe even 90s at a couple of the days, but it's supposed to be very dry, so it's not gonna be very sticky. Which, yeah, if the weather forecast holds up, yeah, I mean, I'll be in for some spectacular weather. Yeah, there's nothing worse than planning a road trip and it rains the entire time. Or any trip. It's like, I remember 2.5 years ago, I did the long, or it was a little more than a long weekend. I did like a 4 or 5 day trip down to Houston, Texas. And I remember there were rain chances almost every day. Although it didn't rain the entire time, thankfully. But yeah, so it was a little bit of a downer. But yeah, you just gotta love northern Michigan. A lot of beautiful scenery. You got all the trees around us, rolling hills. Just think several weeks from now, the leaves are going to start changing colors. Because, yeah, it's like as I'm filming this video, it's mid-August. But, yeah, it's like despite all that's been going on in 2020, it's been going by pretty quickly. Because by the time we get to the end of the month, we would have gone through 2/3 of the year so far. But yeah, for this road trip, yeah, I'm going to be gone for an entire week. But yeah, I haven't used hardly any vacation days so far. Or heck, I used 3 vacation days a couple weeks or so ago, and I didn't really go anywhere. Like, other than that little day trip I did to Nashville, Vermontville, Michigan, southwest of Lansing. It's like it was more just a true staycation. Because I just need to use some vacation days. Oh yeah, and yeah, we're now in Otsego County. Which, of course, Gaylord's the county seat. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So, we gone for a week, and then, of course, I returned home a week from today. Right now, I have the trip that I was supposed to take back in Easter, or around Easter, to San Diego. I ended up postponing that to Labor Day weekend. However, I'm starting to consider rescheduling that trip again, just because I'm not concerned about flying or anything, because I'm flying Delta, and they're one of the very few airlines in the United States which is still abiding by physical distancing guidelines right now, to where they're keeping the middle seats unoccupied. But it's like over in California, it's like a lot of things are closed again. Like a lot of the outdoor areas, especially in San Diego, they're open, but like restaurants are closed to indoor dining there right now. If I want to go to any indoor museums, those are closed as well. Outdoor attractions are open, though. But I don't know. It's like I'm keeping an eye on things, but there's a good chance I'm probably going to be postponing it. If I do, maybe I'll go like in November or something, like right before Thanksgiving. Because yeah, due to the pandemic, yeah, right now it's like airlines are pretty flexible when it comes to changing your flights. But again, yeah, we'll wait and see. If I do go, it's going to be from like a Thursday night to Labor Day itself. But I don't know. There's a part of me that's considering just staying home for Labor Day weekend. because, yeah, my workload is very, very light right now. So maybe if I get really lucky that by the time I'm back, that maybe some things will finally start to come back into the pipeline again. But we'll wait and see. But yeah, it's like right now, I'm glad for a lot of sports to be back on TV again. Because yeah, not only the NBA's back, the NHL's back, Major League Baseball's playing, and as of right now, the NFL season's still happening as scheduled. They canceled the preseason, which I don't blame them, just because the preseason is more just to warm up all the players and, of course, try to finalize your starting roster for the start of the season. But yeah, for the NBA and the NHL, it's like they're both, well, they think the NBA is about to start their playoffs, where the NHL is in their playoffs. Both of those leagues they're playing a bubble, basically. What I mean by that is that they're playing all the games in a single spot, where the NBA's, they're all in Orlando, where the NHL, like the Eastern Conference, is all in Toronto, with the Western Conference in Edmonton, Alberta. And it's basically, it's like a protective bubble to where they're not being exposed to the outside world. Try to prevent them from catching the virus. And so far, that seems to be working. Like, I don't think a single player, as of today, has really tested positive or anything. Major League Baseball, on the other hand, they're continuing outside of a bubble. So, like, they're playing at the normal ballparks, except for Toronto's baseball team, the Blue Jays. Just because the border's still closed for non-essential travel, they're not allowing the Toronto Blue Jays to go back and forth between the United States and Canada. So I think they're having to play in Buffalo, New York. And that's going well for the most part, although, like, every once in a while there are players who are testing positive, so they're having to postpone some games for certain teams. Like, I know, like, a few teams have been affected, like St. Louis Cardinals, Miami Marlins, I think the Pittsburgh Pirates, I think. Maybe not the Pirates, maybe I'm thinking of the Philadelphia Phillies. And then also the Cincinnati Reds. But yeah, hopefully you'll be able to get through the rest of the shortened season and in the playoffs okay. But we're slowly starting to come into the Gaylord area now. Like, this is the exit for Business 75, which take that north, that'll take you up into downtown Gaylord. But we're going to be filming this video all the way to M-32. But yeah, it's kind of funny to think that for this series of videos where it's going to be primarily in North and South Dakota with maybe a couple in Minnesota, the first video is being filmed here in good old Michigan. It's like for a road trip like this, you gotta start in Michigan when it comes to a video. Okay, right about here, we're crossing over the 45th parallel line of latitude, so we're officially halfway between the equator and the North Pole. Yep, another mile, we'll be coming up to the exit for M-32. Of course, M-32 east, I'll take it over to Alpena. I was just in Alpena two and a half months ago. And then, of course, go west, that'll take you over toward like East Jordan, and eventually over to Highway 131. Alright, so now with this last stretch here, we have now filmed every stretch of I-75 in the Lower Peninsula of Michigan. I got one more segment left to film, and then probably some redos down in Metro Detroit at some point. Not sure. Not sure how soon though. Alright, so I'm going to start to conclude the video here. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click that subscribe button to come along and join me for the adventure. And don't forget to click that notification bell so that way you know when a new video goes live. I can back it back over now. Well, thanks for watching, and this is Scott for the Scottman895.